I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Roy Wood Jr. brought the house down at the White House Correspondents Association dinner this past weekend. President Biden gave the first speech. I did a whole recap on Biden's speech, which was pitch perfect. He just did an incredible job mocking Fox and mocking Marjorie Taylor Greene and just mocking the idiocracy that is the modern day MAGA Republican Party, but then pivoting to a very serious and solemn defense of the freedom of the press and our democracy. And after President Biden completed his remarks, Roy Wood Jr. gave his speech, and Roy Wood Jr. is from The Daily Show, and he just did an incredible routine. I want to play for you some of the key highlights from Roy Wood Jr.'s speech. Let's start off with Roy Wood Jr.'s message about Clarence Thomas. Play the clip.
You are trying to erase black people, and a lot of black people wouldn't mind some of that erasure as long as that black person is Clarence Thomas. A billionaire named Harlan Crow is flying Clarence Thomas all over the world on unreported trips like an Instagram model, taking Clarence to the Maldives and the beaches and all. Paid for his mama's house, this billionaire. Paid for Clarence Thomas' mama's house. I gotta give it up to billionaires. Billionaires, boy, y'all are relentless. Y'all always come up with something new to buy. Like, just when you think of everything you could buy on Earth, a billionaire will come up with a new thing. Y'all buy space rockets, you bought Twitter. This man bought a Supreme Court justice. Do you understand how rich you have to be to buy a black one on top of that? There's only 2 in stock. And Harlan Crow owns half the inventory. We can all see Clarence Thomas, but he belongs to billionaire Harlan Crow. And that's what an NFT is.
And then Roy Wood Jr. said this about Tucker Carlson. Play the clip.
Scandals have been devouring careers this year. The untouchable Tucker Carlson is out of a job. Yeah. Okay. Some people celebrate it. But to Tucker's staff, I want you to know that I know what you're feeling. I work at The Daily Show, so I too have been blindsided by the sudden departure of the host of a fake news program. Tucker got caught up. Got caught up like that dude from Vanderpump Rules. Text message stuff. I don't know what Vanderpump Rules is about. I just watched it a couple times. My friends told me it's like BMF, but for white people. Or is that Secession? No, Secession is power for white people. No, Tucker Carlson is power for white people. No, that's white power. You know what, never mind. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We got to get Tucker back on the air, Mr. President, because right now there's millions of Americans that don't even know why they hate you. Fox claimed Dominion conspired with the Democrats to rig the election. And the Democrats should be flattered that they thought that y'all were smart enough to rig an election.
Of course, George Santos was one of the topics of discussion. Watch what Roy Wood Jr. said about George Santos.
These brave young souls are the future of the industry. And I'd like to stop right now and congratulate tonight's top scholarship recipient, Arizona State senior George Santos. Oh yeah, George couldn't be here tonight. He's auditioning for RuPaul's Drag Race. That's my bad. We say good luck to you, George. Sashay away.
Then Roy Wood Jr. had another message for Fox and said this about the Smartmatic lawsuit. Play the clip.
We got to get Tucker back on the air, Mr. President, because right now there's millions of Americans that don't even know why they hate you. Fox claimed Dominion conspired with the Democrats to rig the election. And the Democrats should be flattered that they thought that y'all were smart enough to rig an election. Warnock needed a runoff to be the werewolf. But it's not over for you, Fox News. You still got more bad news coming down the pipe. That Smartmatic voting machine lawsuit is coming. That's right, Smartmatic is coming for you, and they want more money than Dominion. Matter of fact, let me just say right now, my favorite voting machine is the Smartmatic voting machine. If your election needs the truth, put Smartmatic in your booth. But I think it's fair that we should give credit where credit is due. Tucker Carlson is the first host to get fired from Fox News for something that's only partially about how he treats women. That's progress. He shattered the asshole ceiling.
Oh, I love this part. So where Roy Wood Jr. said, you know, one of the big scandals of the Biden administration is President Biden awake? But you know what? When he is awake, things get done. Here, play this clip.
There's been no scandal more damaging than the scandal of, is Joe Biden awake? Look, hey, say what you want about our president, but when he wake up from that nap, work gets done. He might doze off, but infrastructure bill. Student loan forgiveness. Did we free Brittany Griner or free Brittany Griner?
And then Roy Wood Jr. had this to say about Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. Play the clip.
But I think the most insulting scandal to fall to the feet of the Biden administration was placed at the feet of our Madam Vice President. The scandal of, what does Kamala do? Which is a disrespectful question. That's a disrespectful question because nobody ever asked that question of the vice president until a woman got the job. Nobody asked. I don't know what Mike Pence did. The only thing I know about Mike Pence is that he's really good at playing hide and seek at the Capitol. You got to be crafty to catch Mike Pence in that Capitol, baby. He'd know all the nooks and crannies. Don't put the camera on her on a Mike Pence joke. Don't do that. Don't be set. They trying to set you up, Madam Vice President. You see what they do? At the end of the day, as a vice president, the only thing you got to do is just be better than Dick Cheney. That's the bar. Just be better than Dick Cheney. They made a documentary about Dick Cheney. Now, I don't know much about the job of vice president, but I do know if they can make a documentary about your time as vice president, you vice presidented incorrectly.
It wouldn't be a White House Correspondents Association dinner without Roy Wood Jr. talking about all of the scandals of the Trump administration. But look, he did also go after Biden as well. Here, play this clip.
So many scandals. The king of scandals, President Donald Trump. And for just for a moment, can we just all acknowledge, can we just all be honest and just say that the Trump arrest didn't hit like we thought it was going to hit? We're so desensitized to scandals now. That Trump arrest, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. The Trump arrest was like a pot brownie you ate 4 hours ago. And you're like, do I feel justice? This don't feel like justice. Let me try one of them Georgia arraignment brownies. Maybe that'll hit. Okay, that's got some kick to it. Can't follow Trump scandals. There's too many Trump scandals to keep up with. Keeping up with Trump scandals is like watching Star Wars movies. You got to watch the third one to understand the first one. Then you can't miss the second one because it's got Easter eggs for the fifth one. Donald Trump is the only politician whose scandals got spinoffs on Disney Plus. But the Trump arrest, it made everybody question what they believe. You thought you leaned one way politically, then Trump got locked up, everybody started waffling. Put Republicans between a rock and a hard place. Donald Trump got locked up, and for years, all y'all been saying for years, we gotta get tough on crime. Trump got arrested. We meant black crime. Same thing with the liberals, too. Liberals was all confused after Trump got arrested. We got to abolish prison. Trump got arrested. Bring back Rikers. I don't know about y'all, but for me, the easiest scandal to follow was the Trump document scandal. That was the one that was easy to follow. It was simple. It's some stuff that's supposed to be in the White House that ain't. And the media, y'all did y'all's job. Y'all jumped on that story. As soon as the Trump document story broke, everybody was down at Mar-a-Lago. We're reporting live from the documents, and we're gonna find them. And then we found out Joe Biden had documents too, and it was like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Everybody got documents. Everybody got documents. Mike Pence has some documents. Who care about it? Ooh, look, a Chinese spy balloon. Would you look at that? Ooh. Well done, media. Happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
You know what I really liked about that clip, though? You saw President Biden laughing. Like, that is a leader who is very confident about themselves, right? And you compare that to Donald Trump saying, mad dog, psycho, this prosecutor, and that prosecutor's racist against white people, and this prosecutor is this, and the judge is this or that. You just see President Biden confidently just laughing and taking a joke. That is a quality of strength, not weakness. And the ultimate weakness is Donald Trump with his projection and his hate. And by the way, Donald Trump refused to show up to any of the White House Correspondents Association dinners when he was in office. Then Roy Wood Jr. talks about drag queens. Here, play this clip.
And also, speaking of drag queens, can we stop with the grooming stuff? Can you stop talking about that? Drag queens are not at a school to groom your kids. Stop it. And even if they were, most of them kids gonna get shot at school. It ain't no problem. Don't grown pass legislation. Like they boobs gonna bother me. I'm like Mitch McConnell. I ain't got no soul.
I like this clip. You know, it's another Roy Wood Jr. zinger about Biden. You see Biden takes it, Biden can take a joke. Here, play this clip.
Despite the challenging times we live in, I look around this room and I see people that are hardworking. Many of you, I don't even think you should be working that hard. We should be inspired by the events in France. They rioted when the retirement age went up 2 years to 64. They rioted because they didn't want to work till 64. Meanwhile, in America, we have an 80-year-old man begging us for 4 more years of work. Begging. Let me finish the job. That's not a campaign slogan, that's a plea. Let me finish it.
And then two of the more serious topics that Roy Wood Jr. Talked about. He said, look, if you want to talk about CRT policies and anti-CRT policies, let's just be honest with what you're really trying to say. Here, play this clip.
I think Republicans, y'all would be surprised, man, if y'all would just be real about what CRT is. You can be surprised. Some black folks might meet you halfway. But you got to tell the truth. You can't lie to black people. Call it what it is. Anti-CRT policies are an attack on black history and an attempt to erase the contributions of black people from the history books. That's what it is. You are trying to erase black people, and a lot of black people wouldn't mind some of that erasure as long as that black person is Clarence Thomas. A billionaire named Harlan Crow is flying Clarence Thomas all over the world on unreported trips, like an Instagram model, taking Clarence to the Maldives and the beaches and all. Paid for his mama's house, this billionaire. Paid for Clarence Thomas' mama's house. I gotta give it up to billionaires. Billionaires, boy, y'all are relentless. Y'all always come up with something new to buy.
And then Roy Wood Jr. had this message about, good journalism, needs to be made accessible to people. And We shouldn't be putting a paywall behind good journalism. Play this clip.
Tonight is all about you all, the journalists, the defenders of free speech, the people who show truth to the world through different mediums, through television, through print, through radio, through whatever China let us see on TikTok. But the industry that covers all of these scandals isn't immune to them themselves. The issue with good media is that most people can't afford that. All the essential, fair, and nuanced reporting, it's all stuck behind a paywall. People can't afford rent, people can't afford food, not healthy food. They can't afford an education, they damn sure can't afford to pay for the truth. Say what you want about a conspiracy theory, but at least it's affordable. I mean, well, unless you Alex Jones, it'll cost you about $900 million. And I understand that we have to put the stuff behind the paywall because creating the truth is important. People can't afford the truth, but you all can't afford to go find the truth for free. The work you do as journalists is important, it's essential, it's dangerous.
And I leave you with that clip because, as you know, the MeidasTouch network is free on YouTube. All of our reporting is free. We do have our Patreon site if you want to help and become a member to help grow this channel, but it's not required. It goes a long way to help. We don't have outside investors, so we don't have to paywall all of our content. But if you go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch and you want to support it, great. If you don't, if you can, no worries at all. But you could check it out there. But we appreciate you. And I wanted to share with you that recap. I mean, you know, I just think, look, that demonstrates the strength of America. Taking jokes, sense of humor, with also kind of a serious message. And I thought Roy Wood Jr. did a incredible job. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ben Meiselas. Have a great day. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. So hit subscribe right now. Also, check us out wherever you get your audio podcasts. Just search MeidasTouch Podcast and subscribe. And check us out on Instagram as well. Search MeidasTouch on Instagram. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe on YouTube. It is free.
Love this video? Then you'll love the MeidasTouch podcast. Listen as my brothers and I break down the latest news and chat with top political leaders on the fastest growing pro-democracy podcast in the world. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Add the MeidasTouch podcast right now wherever you listen to your podcasts.